What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talks, and a podcast in for your movie news, movie reviews. So we are doing
And
two.
more.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's going to be more for you because we are splitting up the episodes because I've been on a family holiday. Lawson's been busy working 900 jobs, and he's living
Yeah,
his life. So
you bet.
yeah, we got two quick fire episodes coming for you at this week anyway. So, and then we're back to our regular scheduled program. So this is episode 124. We have a little quick movie news for you because there's a big one that's on the horizon. It is the Until Dawn movie. So the trailer has released now, and
All
people
right.
are a bit confused. I think it's split the audience. Some people are quite keen for it. Others like, no, you're going to ruin it because the
Right.
game obviously is based on the choices you make. But
Yeah.
they're trying to replicate that by having an hourglass, and it has some back in time sort of stuff to show like different choices and different like ways they go
In the
through it.
movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like it reminded me a little bit
Wow.
of like Groundhog Day. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I feel like
Okay.
the people when they're talking seem quite passionate about it, so I'm hoping it's in good hands. But we
Yeah. It's got quite a cult following.
yeah, so I guess we'll see.
But the thing is, like, I feel like there's already 50 Until Dawn movies because Until Dawn is like very much based on, the horror movies of Yonder,
Hmm.
yesteryear, you know?
But it's like
We've already seen that movie.
I don't know, putting them all together, I guess. So who knows? Who knows? I guess we'll
Yes, we'll
see.
see.
And
Yeah.
then there was also a big bit of news. So Avatar 3, we are going to meet a new clan, and the new clan is the Ash Clan. So
Which is like volcano people.
they look
Yeah.
slightly less blue.
This
And
is going to be now. We've done earth, we've done water. We're going to have the fucking fire people and the air people.
I th
Why not have others? There's more than, surely that a fucking different planet has more than four elements.
yeah, but then you have more movies. That becomes like the fifth movie.
Fifth element.
Yeah. So good movie. Good movie. But yeah, that's a
I
little
don't know. It's gonna be dumb. I don't give a fuck about Avatar anymore. The last one
Uh,
was so garbage. I don't
yeah,
understand why they're making more, but
the
obviously it makes money. So
first one was really good. I quite liked it.
first one was pretty good.
Second one was very blue with lots
Very blue.
with
Very
more blue.
boring. Very blue. A
Uh,
lot and two action climaxes for some fucking reason that went for like an hour.
yep. Who
Anyway,
knows?
go listen to episode 133 for that. I have no idea.
Oh, I was gonna say that's a pretty good guess if it was
No,
correct.
around there somewhere, I think.
But something that was not boring and has been on my list to watch for quite some time. We've watched the Batmans, and this is the Penguin. So Colin
Yeah.
Farrell is doing his role again as the Penguin. He's unrecognizable. The only reason I know that it's Colin Farrell is because I know that it's Colin Farrell because I looked at the credits.
Yep.
Yeah, like there's no mannerisms in this that be like, yeah, that's Colin Farrell.
Yeah, he is quite transformative in this
Hmm.
for sure. I don't dislike Colin Farrell. He's never done a lot of things I haven't seen him in a lot of things. I'm like, wow, he's so good in that, but he's actually very good in this.
You ever see him in Daredevil? The Ben Affleck Daredevil, where he was
I
he was
mean, yeah, I would have seen that back in the day.
where he was Bullseye. It was a cracker.
Right, I don't remember that, but
It
yeah,
was,
see what I mean? Exactly.
yeah, it was so good.
But he
Uh,
did
Phone Booth, I quite liked. Quite liked Phone Booth.
sure.
That was cool.
He did the lobster, which is very
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Um Yorgos Lanthimos movie.
yeah,
Yeah, so like, he's done some good stuff. I don't dislike the guy, but he's not I haven't really seen him in a lot of things that I think like, wow, he was amazing in that. But he's actually very good in this. He
yeah,
he he really feels like a very unique character.
yeah.
I'm very
So
glad that and there's already so many good Batman renditions out there, well, and bad ones. I think it's very easy to fall into old patterns.
yeah,
Look at like Danny DeVito's Penguin and stuff.
yep,
But yeah, he's quite unique in this, which I really appreciate.
yeah. Especially with like so many other people that have played the Penguin.
Exactly.
I've never been a fan of the Penguin as a villain. I just kind of see him as
Yeah,
like as soon as you get there, it's like, oh, what's he gonna do to Batman? Like, there's not much, but
yeah,
this sheds a whole new light on him. Like, he's very manipulative, very clever, but uh,
yeah.
it feels more like a gangster film than anything, or like a
It
gangster
does.
TV show,
Yeah.
which they
What
don't.
was it?
Don't know. I didn't actually see any mention of like Batman. I wonder if we're going to see him like further on, but
Yeah. I guess what's good about the Penguin is like the Joker and Batman are sort of the yin and yang. Like they need each other to exist. Whereas like the Penguin is sort of doing his own thing. A lot of the time, Batman comes and ruins it. You know?
yeah, that's true. But this follows the events of the Batman. So we have reviewed the Batman. If you haven't seen the Batman, do check it out because surprisingly, Robert Pattinson is reasonably good as Batman, which
Yeah.
surprises me. But without going down that rabbit hole, because I'll get stuck on it, it's as the explosions go off at the end of the film, we're pretty much picking up the aftermath of those explosions that goes off, and then it's
Hmm.
them having to pick up the pieces because Oz. He's working for a crime family, and
Yep. The Falcons.
he is working his way up, and you see him like manipulating and trying to gather any sort of power because at the time the father dies and the father was quite fond of Oz, but the new person that's come on, they see Oz as a bit of a not a liability, but more of like a rat sort of for some reason.
Yeah, it's
Why are
like
you
laughing
there?
at him, and yeah, thinks pretty low of him for sure.
Yeah, because obviously he walks with a limp and he's a
Yeah,
little, like, he's a little bit different than everybody else, but
everyone calls him
he,
a rat.
yeah. So everyone sees him as, I don't know, as a rat and they want to get rid of him.
Hmm.
So they're shutting down his operations, and then you see him trying to manipulate, wheel and deal his way into power. I quite liked it wasn't just like it, these kind of TV shows remind me of Prison Break, where it's like, here's the plot device, and it's like watching Oz trying to climb the ranks of this gangster and trying to get like power and
Yeah.
become the Penguin. Where like Prison Break gets you in there, and it's like they're almost there, but then something happens, and then they have to change
Hmm.
plan. Something happens.
Hmm.
And, like that's what I was concerned that was going to happen, but it seemed to me like I've seen three of them, and it flows reasonably well. Like there was never a point
Yeah.
where it was like, oh no, okay, now they have to do plan B again. They have to always consistently
Yeah. Yeah.
modify and
And
adapt.
there
There
is
are
a bit
times.
of yeah, there is a bit of like he's got a plan and then things don't go right or people catch him or but that's sort of part of the fun of it is it's like him weaseling his way out of stuff because he's a little fucking weasel. He's a little rat.
Hmm,
Like he's trying to play both sides of the coin and is trying to sort of he thinks he's smarter than everybody else in the room and he is in some aspects, but he's also quite readable in others. So there is a bit of like something bad happens or he's got an offsider as well, Victor, Vic, who's like has no experience in the crime world, um, and he doesn't have much, doesn't deal with like blood and gore and that stuff very well. And when he gets cornered, isn't he isn't can't fight his way out of it or weasel his way out of it like Oz can. So there is a bit of like, oh, this guy's sort of fumbling his way through as well. But his family was killed in like the explosions, the river wall, the seawall explosions. There's a bit of backstory there too, and I think there's a lot of flesh in the characters. Kristen Milioti, who is the woman who plays Sophia Falcone, she's fucking great. I've never seen her in like a threatening, powerful role like this, but she is very good at it.
she comes off really unhinged, and
Yeah,
it's really good.
very. I've seen her in a few things. She's the mother in How I Met Your Mother. She's in an episode of Black Mirror. I'm trying to think what else I've seen her in that rings a bell. Wolf of Wall Street,
She was in The Simpsons.
Fargo. Probably was like a
She was Barbara Belfry. She was in two
who knows
episodes. I
2021. I've not seen those seasons.
Okay.
But yeah, she in this is great.
Yep.
When she came on the scene, I didn't expect her to have this sort of role, but she does come across pretty crazy, kind of dangerous, very smart, which I like. I like female characters like that that are written well. She's great. I'm really happy in all her scenes.
Yeah, so she is the hangman. So she gets
Hmm.
nicknamed the hangman and has been
Hmm.
in Arkham. So it's her getting out of Arkham. Oz had a hand in like putting her into Arkham, so he kind
Yeah.
of like was needed to get rid of her. Oz was her driver, so like they. I understand how you start in this business. Like I know I've sent you a random like
Yeah.
henchman thought, but it's like
What's the
people just
henchman? Yeah.
they just seem to start as drivers. Like if you can drive and you just meet the person at the right time, it's like, all right, I'm the driver. I get some experience and I move up the
Yeah.
ranks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know.
know. But he's the kind of guy that, you can see is aspirational and is he can sort of weasel his way. If he sees an opportunity, he'll weasel his way up into it, which I like because, it's kind of like an anti-hero. It's you don't want to support him because he's a bad guy, but you're on his team because you're watching him sort of fumble around. And I like his interactions with Sal, the guy in prison, the Maroni boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ellie walks in and like Sal's like, "You're a fucking rat. Like, you don't think I've forgotten? You think I've forgotten what you've done?" Sort of shit. It's like, yeah, but
Yeah.
now you need me. Like,
And he's
it's cool.
very opportunistic man. Like
Oh, look
wherever,
at that. That's a good word.
yeah, wherever
Mm.
wherever you can see like a an up. Like there's moments where you're like, oh, I didn't think this was going to play out this way. So like when he
Yeah,
first meets the bloke in prison, and it was like they're going to do a drop here, and then
yeah,
the drop, unfortunately, he has to be on the delivery because when they're shutting
yeah,
down the
yeah.
operation, where like things are always swapping and changing, which I think they capture a reasonably realistic kind of like that's what life is like. Nothing's ever going to go perfect. Like those Ocean's
Hmm.
11s and those sort of heists, like at the end of the day, it always seems to like just cruise
Things always
through
work out. Yeah, yeah.
where this is like they're just adapting and overcoming, and that's like Oz's whole motto is about like you need to
Hmm.
adapt, you need to think quick, you need to be
Hmm.
on your feet. Also,
Make the best of bad situations.
I think the rating definitely helps it. Like if this was, I don't know,
Yeah.
like M or like trying to be the Penguin in the Batman universe where it wanted to get more families and like those people in, there's no way
Yeah,
this
yeah.
would have done as well. Like there's a point where he's like shoving the phone into like Johnny Vito's mouth and he's like
Yeah.
stabbing people and
Uh-huh.
like there's very I haven't seen all
Shot
the
in the head.
Sopranos, but I've seen like bits and pieces of it. It
Yes.
feels quite gritty.
Yes, that's literally I went and looked up like anyone's comparing the two when I was watching it because this more than anything else, I've watched a lot of gangster stuff. I really like gangster stories. I've watched all of Soprano a couple times. This reminds me a lot of Sopranos. Like we've got a main character who is trying to just make things work, and there's a lot of stuff like he has his person under his wing, but like Chris and Sopranos, and there's a bit of like dodgy stuff behind the scenes, but you still he's an anti-hero. Like there's a lot of stuff in this, especially with the crime families and whatever, playing people against each other, keeping secrets, whatever. A lot of this is Sopranos to me. All he needs is a psychiatrist to talk through his stuff, and it'll be very Sopranos. But
All right.
not a bad thing. I like Sopranos. Sopranos is fucking top three best series ever made in my eyes. So I'm not mad about it.
I almost feel like Victor is his psychiatrist because like
In a way, yeah, not
yeah,
wrong actually.
because he stutters and then he's like offloading
Hmm.
and trying to like build him as a what like protege, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. There's a character called Chris in Sopranos that kind of serves that purpose.
Right.
Bit like a son figure, father figure.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, it's good. Having a good time. I've only watched three, same as you, but I do want to watch more.
Yeah.
Um, a
I
lot of
really
actors
enjoyed
that
it.
I know. Yeah, Clancy Brown, who played Sal, he's like the Captain Hadley in Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Remember that guy? He's like the captain of the
I haven't
of
seen
the
it for a long
guards.
time, but
Oh,
yeah.
I love it. Watch it fairly often.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything in a while, and he's a bit old. And I didn't recognize him at first, but Michael Kelly, who's been in a lot of shit. Yeah, a lot of Thea Rossi, a lot of people, a lot of good people who I really like. Did a
Yeah.
pretty good job.
Look, I th hope they continue to expand the universe. Like, I wonder if
Yeah,
this is going to continually feed into the bigger picture of Batman because the movie got delayed. like Batman 2 or whatever they're going to call it,
Yeah.
got delayed. I think to next year.
Okay.
Feel like next year. But the director, Lauren Lee Franco, Franke, however you say it.
LaFranc.
Well,
Lauren
Frank,
LaFranc.
that's
Yep. Yeah.
yeah,
She's a show creator, writer. Yeah.
yeah. Did was a writer for Chuck, a producer for
Yep.
Agents of Shield.
Whatever.
Um, well, I quite liked Agents of Shield, but like for her, I'm guessing is this first director? No,
Um,
she's the creator.
I don't think she directs this. She's the creator writer of this,
Yeah, okay.
producer. I don't think she directs any episodes.
Yeah, right. But anyway, like that's really cool. She
Yeah.
has done an outstanding job for only like what seven things in total. So
Yeah, and a lot of credits. Yeah.
six things before that. So
Mm, this
really
is
good.
great.
Hmm. Highly impressed. What
I'm into
would
it.
what would you give it?
Like a four. I think
Hmm.
four is fair right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like a four. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And they're like what, 15 minutes a piece, roughly. Somewhere
First one's an hour five or something. Like they're up there.
yeah, but
But
averaging it out.
I don't care.
There's
It
only
doesn't
eight.
feel long though. They don't feel like big long draggy episodes. Like they're pretty fucking fast paced.
Yeah, things cruise pretty quickly.
Yeah, what's going on? That's for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I was excited,
Yeah, it's
and
good shit.
I'm
We'll watch more.
glad we finally got to watch it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So our second one for this mini episode it is Cunk on Life. So we have watched her previous one, which I'm trying to remember what it was
Cunk
called.
on Earth.
Cunk on Earth. So it's a mockumentary,
Yep.
and
Well,
technically
it's real facts.
true. You don't reckon it's a mockumentary though?
I don't know. It blurs the line between both because it's a documentary. It is. It's about real life, and she does interview real people, and it's not about anything false or whatever. It's just the presenter's a well, she's written in a way that she's an idiot. It's a documentary just presented by an idiot.
Do you reckon it's based off of Carl from
Carl
uh
Pilkington.
yeah.
I
Like
mean,
do you reckon she's taking inspiration from him?
probably yeah. There's probably some sort of ideas. It's like that, like typical Englishman, like, never leaves the country, fucking oblivious to the rest of the world, naivete.
Yeah.
I guess there's a bit of that. Yeah.
Because it's lots of the similarities. Like
Yeah.
it just
My mate Paul.
it reminds me of him. Like he's just
Yeah.
but
But Carl's a real person and this is a character.
yeah. That's why I'm like, is it based on him? But
There's some
she
similarities.
she's hilarious. Like
It's just so funny.
the dry humor is so good.
Yeah. It's just brilliant.
Oh, so she is taking on how life began. There's starts with like delving into the religion, yeah, and
Yep.
seeing those people deal with her.
Oh
It's
no.
they are
Just
uh,
straight away, like, is God real? Yes. Can you prove it? No. Like, oh, okay. She's great. I just
like
love how she puts people off.
are they warned beforehand this is what's coming, or is this like we're setting up?
Yeah. So what I've heard is when she does the interviews, they tell them like, look, this is like Philomena Kunk is a character. So she's gonna give you some questions a bit left field. They warm them up just so they don't laugh because they don't want laughter. If the other people laugh, then it's sort of you're taken out of the experience and reminded she's a character. They're only prepped in a way that's like, we don't want you to laugh. We want you to just take it seriously. But you can tell some people will get like a little bit miffed with the questions.
Oh yeah, because well, at the end of the day, they're also representing themselves. So
Yeah. They're
like,
like, imagine being a professor in something and being like, oh, they're doing this Netflix documentary and they're going to interview you. Be like, oh, fuck yeah, this is great. I get to like, talk about what I'm doing my doctorate in or whatever on TV and get kind of, some sort of level of fame on Netflix. And then this chick walks in and asks you like the dumbest questions and talks about my mate Paul. Like it's it's That's what it reminds me heaps of like the days of Borat and stuff where people are just so like, I don't know how to interact with this person.
Yeah, like she's so I don't know what's the word polarizing though as well
Mm,
because like she comes in and they're like oh like happy to be here and then she just goes on this random as like tangent like the
yeah.
painting one.
Yeah, yeah. Do
This-
you think was the Sistine Chapel, did he paint on the floor and then they flipped it onto the roof? She's like, no. Do you think he was really muscular because he had to hold his arms up? And her response, I loved it. She was like, yeah, he must have been. Like, I love when people just play along with her a little bit. Like, very
yeah
funny.
they treat her like
Dude,
a little bit special. It's like
I also love in this that like there's a couple of little jokes that you get more out of if you've seen her other stuff, like Pump Up the Jam.
yeah
Pump up the
the
jam,
jam.
bump it up. And in Cunk On Life, which I rewatched, or I had on in the background while I was doing other stuff, but I rewatched recently as well. Sorry, Cunk On Earth. They do it like in so many of the episodes. It's so funny every time, and they did it again this time. And the full fucking they did a whole thing in this where they're talking to the woman who runs like Strawberry or whatever, which is like a Netflix run spin-off. And they're talking about all these like, oh, we've got these channels or like niche these niche categories about like stepping down from that ledge and whatever. And the new kids program coming out, and they have this full Muppets like Sesame Street episode about don't commit suicide jumping off a building. And it's really well made that it feels super real, but it's fucking hilarious.
Even their like random toy line.
Yeah, oh, that's right. I'd buy that. The Philomena Conk action figure.
Uh,
Yeah, dude.
it's real left of
Yeah,
field
the
some of
ad, the
this
ad
one.
like little ad breaks and stuff. Yeah, it is. But it's my fucking humor. Like this is so funny. It's so witty and dry. I don't think Americans would find this funny.
Some would, some wouldn't.
Some would, yeah, of course. But like a lot of American humor is just loud and stupid.
Yeah.
Whereas this is very like English Australian.
Also, the guy on death row.
Yeah, right.
Like,
And
is
to do
that
with
was he
I'm
a
guessing
real?
it's an actor.
I assume it was. I was like,
I mean, you have to be.
there's
No.
no way they've done this. But imagine if they
Yeah.
did.
I know. I mean, look, they might have. Who knows with this shit?
Even the Adam and Eve, like, I feel like this would turn some people off, like diehard religious people, where it's
Oh,
just
100%.
like the Adam and
There'd be some
Eve's
people
scene where she's just like talking and it's just like genitalia
just but
walking.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And she's like, which back then they wouldn't had computers to blur it out. Just like me, I can see everything, even though I don't want to.
Uh,
But yeah, people would watch this. Like some people who take themselves too fucking seriously, who because in this she's pretty much like religion is bullshit, like a lot of the time. And there'd be a lot of religious people out there who would see this and be like, oh, this is stupid. How people would find this funny. But it is funny. And there'll be a lot of people out there who are religious who find it funny because, she's taking herself very seriously. So it's all in jest.
yeah. So I pretty much laughed through the entire thing, or at least had a
Yeah.
smile at like her lines because it's just, like it's so quick. It's just it keeps coming at you. Like there's no point where it's like, oh, okay, there's a little bit of a
Yeah.
down. It's like joke, joke.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like, oh, all right.
And a little one liners like she just be talking about even the intro was talking about like you know, all the life on Earth and whatever. And she's like, why are all these plants and who put them here and how many buildings they have to knock down to do that? And who passed the planning certificates or whatever. Like all those little bits and pieces, those all those little like giggles here and there are just it's nonstop. It's so fucking well written.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah. I look at the writing credits. I don't know if it's a big team or if it's just
It was just
Al
like
Campbell, the director.
they got three writers.
Right,
She,
none of them are her. That's okay.
no, she's just the figurehead, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she is the Cunk,
Yeah.
Philomena Cunk.
Is she just a
I find her
comedian?
so attractive as well because she's so funny that she's automatically attractive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess so. Actress and writer. Done a few things. I haven't seen it. There's a lot of Cunk I haven't seen, like Cunk on Shakespeare,
No, I have no idea. I guess they just keep rolling with it until it doesn't
Cunk
do
and
well.
Other Humans on 2019. Oh, it's like a mini series. There's heaps. Like at this point, she's done so much. It's good that Netflix has picked it up because she's made like a much more of a name for herself.
It's easy
The
for
first
them.
Kunk thing was 2016. Like she's been around for like 8 years, 9 years making stuff.
Yeah, right. That's cool.
Great. I don't know what to say about this. It's just fucking funny.
Yeah,
Like it's just as good as the Kunk on Earth show.
I thought I like this one better.
Okay,
I think just because
because
it flows better than
yeah,
here's the
okay,
episode. Where
yeah, I can
like,
agree with that.
yeah, I don't
I
know.
wish there was more, so I guess I like this series better. But I can see, yeah, because it's pretty like it's like bam, 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 bam. Here's yeah, you're not wrong.
It's pretty tidy.
And the way they break it up, they have like yeah, all the little ad breaks and stuff thrown in, and it
They
feels
yeah, they caught me off guard. I was like, what is this?
yeah. And even though you know the premise, even though you know what Kunk is going into it, it's still like your brain has to reset a little bit.
Yeah, I was
Like
like,
it's yeah.
but
I'm
what would you
very
give it?
surprised Brian Cox didn't laugh because he I don't know he Brian Cox is a bit of a like he's a celebrity at this point. Um, and I thought he would have like giggled a few things here and there, but maybe he did. Honestly, like outtakes. What I give it? I gave Cunk on Earth a 5.
Oh,
So it'd be pretty dumb not to give this a 5 as well. I think for what it is, if you're looking for like comedy documentary slash mockumentary, blurring the lines, if you're looking for this genre, there's nothing else out there that's as good as this. I think that makes it a 5.
oh. Yeah, I'm like four. I
Yeah.
I wanted her to spend more time like delving into a subject and being like at people. Like I wanted to see her go more into religion and just see her like get more and more
Yeah.
people. Like
Yeah, yeah, just start berating like cult fanatics and shit.
yeah, and then go to the next like timepiece where it was like the chapel and the all that sort of stuff. That could have been another afterwards where I feel like the religion
Hmm.
side they've got so much they can like unpack and go into and let her just go at people to see just to
I
see.
would love, yeah, a Kunk on religion, like a special episode just about religion.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. It'd be so funny, just tearing into people. Because that's when it's at its best. Like the writing in between interviews and stuff is good, but the interviews really are like the highlights of the whole thing.
Yeah. You know what's coming and you see these people like, oh, good day, sir. And
Yeah.
it's just like, what?
They must intentionally choose people who look like really uptight and choose like really like professional looking, people in their like 60s and whatever.
You'd have
There's no
to.
like youngsters being interviewed really. Even Brian Cox is pushing it.
There's a new guy in the religious side. He just debated Billy Carson, who he's the bloke that talks about all the Book of Enoch and all sorts of like different things and about the Anunnaki and the Egyptian periods and the holding
Okay.
power and all sorts. So those two had like a debate. This other guy just completely destroyed what's his name, Carson, and then
Yep.
the other guy's now gone on to Joe Rogan. So I'm seeing lots
All
of
right.
Joe Rogan like clips of this guy. I'm like,
No shit.
I could imagine her talking with this guy. Like he's very
Yeah.
intelligent and gets his points across like really, really well. Like I would love
Uh-huh.
to see her go against like someone really like sort of
Yeah.
clever, I guess.
I'd love her with like, do you know Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yeah.
You probably would if you saw him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know him.
Yeah, of course, I think he's been in Rogan and stuff. Um, he's very articulate and can shut people down, but he doesn't scoff and tell people off. He's very articulate and like would explain things in a way that everyone understands. I think he's quite good at that. Um, I think it was what's that fucking annoying English guy, Presley, not Carson Presley, an annoying English guy. I forget who he is, some news reporter and shit was interviewing him about something, and he was just shutting him down the whole time. Neil was. But
Yeah,
yeah, again, at the same time, like in this, would Neil deGrasse Tyson be a good person? Because he wouldn't try and belittle her. He would explain things. I don't know. But then they'd do the whole thing where like that one guy was explaining it really well, and she was like, and remember, if you go too long, I have to put videos of funny dogs up so that you don't get boring. And like he was doing a pretty good job of explaining it, and then the videos come up of like dogs on like Roombas and stuff.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would like to see how she could unravel these sort of people.
yeah, you're not wrong. It'd
So,
be interesting.
mm, I don't know.
It's good. Yeah, highly recommend it. I told my parents to watch it the other day when I was in my hometown.
Yeah,
Um, I think it's very approachable and it's very funny.
yeah, real funny. All
Good
right,
shit.
nice mini episode all wrapped up for you.
Look
So,
at that.
our next episode is going to be we have watched Castlevania Season 2 and also the newest Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz film, which is a Netflix special. So, get
Which is
keen.
called.
Can't remember off the top of my head. I've literally finished it today.
You can look it up.
I could, but I haven't done it yet. I was going to do that in the ad break.
Back in action.
Back in action, just like we'll
Jamie Foxx,
be.
Cameron Diaz. Is that what you said?
That's the one.
Yeah, yeah. Back in action. It is a former CIA spies. Emily and Matt are pulled back into espionage after their secret identities are exposed. It's fucking stupid.
Ba, ba,
All right.
ba. Yeah. So
Sure thing.
you know what to do. If you listen on Spotify and Apple podcasts, make sure you give us a 5-star rating. Otherwise, YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. We do
And
ask
tell your friends.
to tell your friends, tell them all. We'll see you
Woo.
guys next time. Boys.
Love yous.